Hey everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And today's review is in association with JediInsider.com, your #1 news source for everything Star Wars. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Star Wars The Black Series 6-inch Sergeant Jyn Erso figure from Hasbro. Now this figure comes packaged in a very similar style of packaging that we saw with Hasbro's San Diego Comic-Con exclusive last year for Force Awakens. You've got the slip case and it's done in a very dark olive green, and then you've got the Star Wars The Black Series logo, and you've got an image of the character. On the side we have a bio. And then on the back, we just have these cutout windows. You can see the Rebel symbol and the name of the character on the inside. And then down here, you again have the character, the name, and it tells us what's included. Now, as I said, this is a slip case, so you can basically lift this up and then the figure is displayed inside. So there's no covering here. I've actually opened this figure already, so I cut the little bands that were holding it in place, so that's why it's kind of fallen down. But you know, you get these little elasty bands that'll hold the figure in place, and then you've got her little cloak that's on display and her blaster. And then again, you have the Star Wars The Black Series logo, and nothing really on the side. You have more artwork of the character, same that was on the front of the packaging. And then on the back here is this little thing. It's basically holding a little booklet of images, so pull that out. So again, this is kind of similar to what we saw last year with the First Order Stormtrooper San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. However, with this, it's just inside is these little cards, so images of the figure. So just various images is what's included with this. Okay, now that we have her out of the packaging, let's first take a look at the accessories she comes with. And also let me just say a big thanks to Hasbro for sending this figure out to us so that we could review it. So the figure comes with this cloak type piece, and it's done with that kind of soft vinyl material like we often see with capes and stuff. And it's done with a light gray color. And it fits on the figure pretty well. You just slide it over her head, and like I said, it fits on her head pretty well and just kind of hangs down the back. I think she wears this when they go down to that one planet that we see in the trailer. I think she's trying to be kind of incognito. So again, I think it fits pretty well on the figure. Now it can be a little bit of a pain to get off because sometimes it gets stuck on her chin, catches on her chin, so you want to be careful. And also I could see it easily maybe scraping paint off if you do it a lot, so just be careful when you're taking it off. The other accessory the figure comes with is her blaster, and this appears to be her signature blaster that she uses throughout the movie, again just at least based on the trailers that I've seen. And it's done with a black, the handle's black, and then a metallic silver. And I like the overall sculpting detail. Looks kind of, it has that kind of thin look like a Princess Leia weapon, but definitely I think it looks pretty good and true to what we see in the trailer. She also has a working gun holster. The holster is a separate piece on the figure, but it's not removable. And the gun, you just slide it in there. It's got this little strap to keep it secure. It fits in there pretty snug, so you don't really need that strap, but they give it to you, and you just kind of peg it in there once the gun is put in. And the gun does kind of slide down here at the bottom, so you can kind of push it up a little bit if you want to. So for the figure itself, our first Rogue One toy, I think this comes off looking pretty good. I don't know a lot about the character yet, but she kind of gives me a female Han Solo vibe to her with the way she acts in the trailer and even how she looks a bit. So I like the overall look of the figure. She's got this jacket, and the actual jacket is a separate piece, so you can take it off if you want to. Now the sleeves of the jacket are sculpted, so it looks a little funny, but you can technically take this jacket off, and it's got some pockets sculpted and these little silver things sticking out of the one pocket. And you can see like the zipper and stuff. So nice detailing with that. And you've got some padding here sculpted on the back of the jacket. And then for the sleeves, you've got these little stripes that come down. Look kind of like something somebody in the rebellion would be wearing. And then she's got these brown gloves, which are painted on the hands. And then, as I mentioned, the holster is a separate piece. And then she's just got these black pants and then brown boots. So on her jacket, I don't know what this exactly is supposed to be, an ID badge or something, is what it kind of looks like to me, but it's a lighter color, and then you've got the little red dot. The face sculpt I think looks pretty good. However, I don't like the skin tone. She looks very kind of pale, so the skin tone on the face is a little off to me, but otherwise I think it's pretty good. Not 100% to the actress, at least from what I've seen in the trailer, but close enough. I also like the sculpting of the hair. I think they did a good job with the sculpting of the hair, and it's just they used a brown paint, so that comes off looking good. And then she's got, looks like, pink lipstick on. So overall, I would say the face sculpt is fairly decent. It's just the skin tone is a little off to me. So the figure stands just a little bit under 5.5 inches tall. And I don't have much to give you a comparison with, being this is our first Rogue One figure, but here's Darth Vader, the Black Series Darth Vader figure, which, you know, she might encounter Vader in this movie, and then a Shadow Trooper. This was part of the Target exclusive pack with the speeder bike, but I figure these guys are kind of kin to the Death Troopers that we see in the Rogue One movie. And you can see she's the shortest of the bunch. Finally, some other female Star Wars characters. So we have Rey from Force Awakens and the slave Princess Leia, and she's in the middle between the two. And honestly, I don't know how accurate the scale is because I just haven't seen enough of the character yet. So articulation is pretty much on par with what we've seen with the other figures in this line. The head's on a ball hinge joint, so she can turn left and turn right, and she can look down good, and she can look back pretty good as well. Arms attached with your standard ball hinge joint at the shoulder, so she can get her arm out good, and she's got good rotation. She has the single hinged elbow, so she can bend her elbow about that much, and then she's got rotation at the elbow, rotation at the wrist, and hinges on the hands, so she's got good up and down movement with the hands. She has a midsection joint where you can rotate, not a whole lot in the way of crunch or being able to look back there, but she does have the rotation. She does not have a waist swivel. Legs are attached with ball joints, so she can do the splits about that much. She can get her leg forward that much, and she can do her leg back about that much. She has a thigh swivel. She has a double jointed knee, so pretty good bending at the knee, and then she has hinges on the feet, so up and down movement, and she does have ankle pivot and 2 peg holes on the bottom of her feet. Oh, and she also has a swivel there at the boot cuff as well. Okay, so that's my review. So overall, I like the figure. I think it looks pretty true to what I've seen in the trailers. My only complaint with the figure is I do think the skin tone on the face is a little bit pale, but otherwise I think it's a nice looking figure. And I like what I'm seeing from the character so far. She definitely has that kind of Han Solo vibe to her. Now, this figure was sold at San Diego Comic-Con last week and will be available at Hasbro Toy Shop, I believe, starting on August 9th. That's what I'm told. However, I'm also told that that could change. So the best thing to do, my experience is just to kind of check the site on a daily basis until these actually go up for sale. But if you're looking for an actual day, then right now I would say that it looks like it's going to be August 9th, which is a Tuesday. We'll have a full gallery of images up at JediInsider.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. Also, if you haven't already, please follow me on my Facebook and or Twitter pages. I'll have links to the video description below for those. And until next time, I'll catch you later.